Hi and welcome to the Zoe Marley channel, the #1 place for aspiring authors to learn the art of how to write. So I am super excited. Today we are going to be going over plotting according to the famous novel Save the Cat Writes a Novel by Jessica Brody. So if this is your first time ever being exposed to Save the Cat Writes a Novel, then I highly suggest buy the book, because what I'm going to be talking about in today's video is actually you and your story, and trying to make sure that what you're doing, whether you're a pantser or a plotter, doesn't follow this kind of structure. And if it doesn't, would your work in progress benefit? And then at the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you a free tool. But before we get into the actual tool, we're going to quickly go over the first 5 beats in Save the Cat Writes a Novel. And these are the 5 beats that are within Act 1. Alright, so beat number 1 is the opening scene. This is from 0 to 1% of your story. And don't get tied up in these percentages. That Excel file I kind of mentioned is going to be like a dream come true. So don't get caught up in that. Let's just focus on the beat and then what you're supposed to accomplish within that beat. So the opening image is a snapshot of your character's life. You know, a lot of writing advice tells you, hey, start right in the middle of action. That isn't always necessary. Now, I believe in action, but I don't believe in action for the sake of action. So when we talk about the opening image, instead of thinking about some super action-packed scene, really dig into what do you think would be the best for your novel. Now, I do suggest that every opening scene has tension of some sort. And this particular beat is very quick. It is a single scene, a single chapter. This will not extend for a huge amount of time, but it is that introduction phase of where your character gets to meet your readers, which is pretty special. Number 2 is the theme stated. Now, if you've been following along with my videos, you would have already seen this video up here, which goes into kind of a deep dive into theme, what themes are, why you should have them, and how to really tailor your specific theme and your specific theme's message to all of your characters, all of your cast, and have it kind of work with their specific flaws. Now, the theme stated needs to happen within the first 10% of your story. Again, don't worry about the numbers. And if you haven't seen my video, the theme is pretty much what your character needs. It's some kind of message that you have and that you want to give to the world, and your character's flaw kind of ties intricately with this. So the most important thing is this is the theme stated beat, which means somewhere in your book, you're gonna have to state your theme. This is where you kind of get to feel like an evil mastermind and be like, whoa, ha, 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 ha. Because you're gonna lay it out there and you're gonna do it in the most unobvious way that the second time your reader reads your book, they're gonna be like, oh, dude, why didn't anyone listen to this guy when this character clearly stated the theme within the first 10% of the book? So I love it. The cool thing about the theme stated is how to do it in a sneaky way. I am not a sneaky person, but I totally wish I was. So to strategically or sneakily state your theme, you want to make sure that it's done by a character that isn't seen as a very reliable character. And if you have a lot of different viewpoints, it's really fun to do this through all of these different viewpoints without anyone catching on. All right, so we're gonna go over 3 more, and then we're gonna get to kind of the Excel sheet and how to use it. But until then, let's just move on to step number 3. This is going to be the setup. So the setup is a really easy thing to imagine. So the opening image was this quick little snapshot, this little teaser film of your character's life. So this is where you kind of start introducing political systems, the setting, world building, magic, any of that fun stuff. Make sure you show and you don't tell. And if this is done well, this is going to feel so incredible to your readers whenever we get into Act 2. So you are going to be doing something and you are going to be bringing the reader close to your character's breaking point. So in this card right here is a video where I share the most important writing advice I've ever heard, and it relates very, very closely to what you need to do during the setup. But what you need to know as far as Save the Cat goes, your character is going to leave this current setting, the opening scene, this everything, to go on a journey. And in my personal opinion, if your character is very flawed and it's affecting every part of their life, right? You need to bring this character very close to the breaking point. And that's what's going to happen in this setup, because the next beat is going to rely on your character almost breaking. So before we go on to tip number 4, I want you to comment below and I want you to tell me about your story. Has your story hit any of these beats? Do you have a well-written opening scene? Are you super engaged with your story's theme? Is there anything that you've overlooked? And if so, do you think you're gonna kind of tweak things to hit these beats? Will that make your writing more effective? Now, I don't want these comments just to have comments on my video. I really want to challenge you to do these exercises to get your intent out there to the world. And by doing something as simple as leaving a comment below, you're gonna find and attract people of that same tribe. Okay, so you don't know this about me, but I could rant forever about putting your intent out into the universe and getting things back, but I'm gonna cut it there, and we're moving on to number 4, which is the catalyst. The thing that I love about the catalyst is it like just into your character's life. I am talking about the plane crashes on top of your house. It's something totally unforeseen that happens to your character that is going to make your character get off their assets. Yep, all of these assets, you know, they're tied to their home, they got all these things, and now they got to leave them. Something's got to happen. It's got to be big, it's got to be a surprise, and it really needs to be so shocking to your character that they're gonna sit back like, whoa, what have I been doing with my life? Is this the life I want to live? And look, if you're not a writer and you're listening to this advice and you're like, dude, are you talking about a fictional character like going in depth like that? So Jessica Brody kind of goes over it and says this usually comes in the form of bad news. You know, something the character wanted didn't happen. There's a death. There's something that is just really bad. But this is an effective catalyst because it forces your character to try something new. Stick with me, we are almost done, and this is going to change your story. So number 5 is the debate, and now this is my favorite one. Your character has to make a decision. And if you did a really good setup, the reader is going to clearly know your character's choices. If your character says, oh, I could either go to the moon or I could go in the ocean in a submarine and investigate the sea. And you're like, oh, I kind of knew about that sea thing, but I didn't know that you had an opportunity to go to the moon, right? So you have to give in your setup 2 very different options for this moment. Hopefully the options aren't lay down and die or run. Really make them hard options. So like, I do not like reading about love triangles, but I know a lot of people that do. And usually what is so amazing about a love triangle is that the reader really doesn't know who the main character is going to end up with. And that kind of gives a little bit of mystery to it. Make these 2 choices so good that your reader has no idea which one your character is going to choose. If I were to critique Star Wars, which I'm not, I love Star Wars so much, it's that Luke really didn't have a good second option. I mean, at the end of the day, the stormtroopers came to his little farm and killed everyone off. What else did he have? So I believe an effective setup sets up 2 very different decisions that will change the story. If your character picks this, it goes one way, and if your character picks this, it is an entirely different story. And you should make them both so appealing that the reader really is like intrigued and has no idea what the character is going to decide to do. Okay, so now we're about to move over to the computer where I'm going to show you what a beat sheet is. It is a free Excel download. I will show you where to get it. The link is also below in the description if you want to do it along with me. I'm going to do a very quick introduction to it and then help you learn how to figure out where your novel is. And hey, you could totally be looking at me right now and being like, yo, Zoe, seriously, I know how to do this? How much of an amateur do you think I am? Well, my sweet pantsing self just edited out 23,000 words from my very first act, bringing it down to 55,000 words. With that being said, I am writing an epic fantasy, which tends to be on the longer side. But once I actually put my information into these different beats, it helped me understand which scenes I needed, which scenes I needed to cut, how long my novel was going to end up being if I left it at like 78,000 words, all of the above. Since COVID kicked me out of my office, I am currently working from home in a little bitty square between my kitchen and my dining room. It is not the most comfortable place, but I'm actually working on building a new office. So first I'm going to go to jamiegold.com. I kind of have been here more than once. And this link right here is going to be a link that I have in the description below. You're going to see the story planning, story arc beat sheets. Go down to the first one that says Save the Cat beat sheet. And Jamie Gold kind of talks a little bit about, hey, you know, here's the spreadsheet, blah, blah, blah. Is click on this, on one of these options. I've got the newer Excel, so I'm gonna do on the .xlsx. If you don't know, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna matter too much. So just click on it. It's going to download and you are going to open it up. Slight technical difficulties, it is okay though. Because I think I have to stop recording and then re-record once I have the spreadsheet open, but it's gonna pop up in your browser download and you just click on it and you bring it up. If you can't find it, go to your file explorer and hit the quick link downloads and it should be the first one that pops up. Here you're going to see an Excel sheet that is really way easier to use than it looks because the person who made this already had all of the calculations and formulas in it. Okay, I restarted. So the heading is very crucial. It's super easy, so don't be afraid of it. What you need to do is in the project title, you put the project of your title. Wowzers. That is our project title. You're welcome. So, teenage detectives are wowzered, because I like writing in past tense. Okay, and let's say that your word count is 50,000 words. Well, that's awesome because it's already there. So here you have your page count, which I'm just gonna go ahead and admit it. I don't know what the page count is about. Like, I don't know if it's Times New Roman, 12 font, double spaced, 1-inch margins. But over here is what I pay special attention to. This is the word count, okay? So we talked about the opening image, right? And it says 1, opening image. Set the tone, the mood, the type, and the scope of the project. It is your before snapshot, which is awesome. So it's gonna tell you this is going to be a very quick scene. It's a very quick beat. It is 1 to 2 pages. And the word count is, if it's a 50,000 word count novel, the word count is going to be between 1 and 500. Later on, you can put the chapter. So if this is your first chapter, you just put chapter 1 in there. How snazzy is that? So this is what we are focused on for today's video. We go over the theme stated, which is the secondary character poses question or statement to the main character that is the theme of the movie. Now, we are writing a book, not a screenplay. So theme of the novel works. So whenever I was saying, oh, it's the first 10%, it's 1 to 10%, it's 5%, whatever, this is automatically calculated, and this is what I like about this particular file. Here's the crazy thing, is you're like, but so, I don't have a 50,000 word novel. I have an epic fantasy. You go up here and you hit 125000, 0, and enter. And look, it automatically changes all of this. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Now you're saying, but Zoe, I have 5 characters in my book. Like, this makes things hard. Absolutely. Okay, so I personally did. I have 5 characters, and I knew my novel was going to probably be 150,000 words. If you are an agent or editor, please, I know how horrible it is. Just forgive me. My main character has 40,000 words dedicated to her. My main secondary character has another 40,000 words dedicated to him. So these 3 sub-characters get roughly between 20 to 25,000 words each. So at the end of the day, my main character has 40,000 words. I take all of her specific chapters, I divide by chapters, it's what I do. I take her specific chapters and I fill in this information for her specific chapters. What I do next, and I'll even go up here and I'll say, you know, this is, and I'll say, why is my typing bad? I will say Naeli, right? I'll come down here, and last time this little window didn't show up whenever I was screen capturing, so if it doesn't, I'll talk you through it. I right click and I move up a little bit, and there's this thing that says move or copy ... Click that, another little window will pop up, and there's at the very bottom underneath the main window, there's this little checkbox, and next to it says create a copy. Click that. Click OK. And you're gonna get 2 sheets now. Right now they say the same thing, so let's call this one Bryce. Well, actually, let's call this one Meredith. Okay, she's like one of my sub characters, and she does not get 40,000 words. I'm gonna give her 20,000 words. And then I put all of her chapters together and I bounce it against this. So again, this is absolutely free. This is just an Excel document that you download. You can play with it as you need to. I hope this tutorial was pretty painless for you. We will be doing something similar when we do story engineering. So guys, if you got value from this video, I want you to hit that like button. If this is your first time seeing me, hello, my name is Zoe Marley, and I'm committed to bringing you 50 videos about tips and techniques on how to improve your writing. If this is something you're interested in, check out my channel, hit subscribe, ring that bell. I am so glad to be on this journey with you. Also on that note is that I am, for the first time ever, going to do, I don't know how to say it, I'll put a thingy right here next to my Starbucks coffee, and it will spell it out for you, but it is National November Writing Month. And it's this fun little challenge where writers are going to get together, they're gonna buddy each other. The website for Nano is this really beautiful thing where you say, hey, this is my book, this is my project, I want to hit 50,000 words in November, which is technically writing a book. For me, it's only writing the middle, maybe. So if you want to be a part of the challenge, look it up. I'll leave a link in the description below. Join me. I'll even put my my username tag into the description below. I hope you make a buddy out of me, but let's really build a community. Let's support one another. I want to be along on this journey with you. And how awesome is it that we're getting into plotting right now before we even start Nano? Like come November 1st, we're gonna be like, oh, I done messed up my stuff. Okay, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, comment below, tell me all about your story, and I can't wait to hear from you. Bye.